good YouTube? It's the Course of Earth and Prophecy, and as you can tell, I'm freaking, tired as hell. Um, Obviously, I was celebrating my son's sixth birthday yesterday. Um, but anyways, listen, man. Like I told people this yesterday that people want to, comment on my videos and saying that, oh, I'm stupid for saying, Odell, was this and that. Like, look, you know, now that I found out yesterday that he's out for the year, he's out for the season with, torn ACL or MCL. Um, similar injury I had when I was playing sports. Um, you know, Um, but like I said, I don't wish, injury upon nobody. I wish he, has a speedy recovery. But people usually put pressure on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, like not Odell because obviously Odell was just doing what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? He had to stop the defender from scoring. Obviously, that obviously resulted into him, injuring himself. But as a person, like y'all think, oh, Odell is just some type of special talent. He was never that good. Like even when I was a Giants fans, I wanted either an offensive lineman or a defensive player. You know what I'm saying? That we could build around defensively, But we got a flashy young receiver out of LSU, and LSU players defensively they good. Obviously Tyron Matthew, Corey Webster. Who else? That analyst, I forgot his name. He's always on First Take. Um, I forgot his name, but he also came from LSU. So you had Ike Taylor, you know what I'm saying? So you had so many great players coming out of LSU, but the thing is LSU has a big hole in its players, you know? They can never stay healthy offensively, but defensively, I think both sides, Um, um, Ike Taylor missed a lot of games when he was playing. Corey Webster, he missed a lot of games when he was playing with the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. obviously missed the first 4 games of the season, But, I don't want to hear that Odell is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear it. And this is the last time I'm going to speak about this because I don't want to keep on repeating myself. Odell is not a generational talent. He's what you call a gadget player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of those players that you could just plug in any system and then he'll go. Like it might take some time for him to pick up the playbook and stuff like that. But as soon as he gets going, he could do his thing. You know what I'm saying? He was with the Giants with Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying no. Wait until Eli Manning or Odell needs a young quarterback. Okay, yes, Eli Manning was in the back tail of his career. You know what I'm saying? The throwing you could see the throwing power in his arm, which Eli Manning was never known for his arm. He can throw it, but it wasn't like Jay Cutler, Russell Wilson type of arm. But he was in the back end of his career. Okay. Um, okay, he spent like what 7 years, 8 years there. Okay, he goes to Cleveland. Now everybody's saying, okay, yes, now Odell has a young, quarterback that's 23, 24 years old. There should be no problem. Now what? Now, you know, now Baker and Odell is out of sync. Like Landry plays better with Baker than Odell plays with Baker. Is it Baker or is it Odell? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people was just flip flopping like, okay, Odell needs a young quarterback. He has a young quarterback. Now what's the issue? So if it's not Eli, because obviously Eli won 2 Super Bowls without him. If it's not Baker, because Baker, sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way Baker Mayfield is. You know what I'm saying? So now he tore his ACL, which he got injured last year, came back, and now he's injured again. So, I mean, people just need to, pick and choose who they want, or like not pick and choose, but people need to stop throwing around generational talent loosely. We in a different time of period. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had to name my quarterbacks, or if I had to name my top five generational talent, is Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Andre Johnson, um, and Heinz Ward. Because obviously they played longer, right? When is the last time Randy Moss was injured? When is the last time Jerry Rice was injured? You know what I'm saying? If I forgot players, or if I forgot other receivers, what I'm saying? This was just my top five, you know what I'm saying? They have never been injured, you know what I'm saying? They played within the next 5 years, because when people say generational talent, that means that a player comes out of the draft every 5 to 10 years, right? Like we've never seen him before. You know what I'm saying? Like Andrew Luck, he was a generational talent, you know, but due to him retiring, we don't know why he retired. We don't know if it was health problems. We don't know if he fell he fell out of the love for the game. You know what I'm saying? Because Andrew Luck was the person that liked physicality. You can tell. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, he was going to win at least one championship, the Colts, but he's never won. You know? Like when they did the whole RG3 versus Andrew Luck, whose career is gonna pan out longer? Andrew Luck is not here, but guess who's here? RG3, obviously as a backup, obviously, but he's still in the league. Like people thought that after that injury he suffered against the Seahawks where Haloti Nada just that shot to the knee looked gruesome as hell. But when he took that shot, a lot of people thought his playing days was over. He would never be the same. You know. So I mean, people just need to stop throwing this generational talent crap around. Just like how there's never gonna be a great defense. Like we will never see a Legion of Boom defense again. You know. Like for me, I think of defenses as seasonal defense. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by seasonal defense is they're only great for that season. Like they can never duplicate what they did last year from this year. You know, like everybody wants to put, like who's the hot defense right now in the NFL? Um, the Steelers. Everybody wants to say, oh, they first in everything, first in yards, first in this and that. But can they keep that consistently? Can they do that year after year after year after year? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do this one year and then disappear the next. You can't go from being first in defense to 27th in defense. You know what I'm saying? It's like that doesn't work. Like like I said, the last defense was the Legion of Boom. And look how that got dismantled. Cam Chancellor had to retire due to injury. Richard Sherman went to the 49ers, and what was the third one? Who was the third one? Cam. Richard Sherman, and I forgot the other dude's name, but I think he went to the Ravens. I mean, he wanted to go to the Cowboys, but obviously the Cowboys they didn't want him. But Earl Thomas, there you go, Earl Thomas. He went to the Ravens. So I mean, that was the best defense since Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? Like just the physicality that they all bring from different positions. Like quarterbacks were very scared to throw on them. You know, so for like people just need to stop it with the generational talent bull crap. Like we live in a different time period now. Like if I had to like say my top five generational talent, I would be here for days. Okay, Larry Fitzgerald is another one. Larry Fitzgerald was drafted in 2008, so that means 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's basically 17 years he's been in the league. 17 years. Going on 17 years. So if he were to play next year, it would have made it 18. You know? That's a generational talent. And Larry Fitzgerald he was never, top five of quarterback of wide receivers when they always list their wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like he was never in the conversation. Like he would always come up like, you know, fifth or fourth or sixth, but he had such good hands. I remember a video in Sports Nation where, they actually, uh, he actually caught a greasy chicken with his bare hands. That's how soft and polished his hands were. You know what I'm saying? I used to call him Larry Stickum because that dude had freaking like sometimes I believe he didn't even need gloves because I believe he could catch anything. So I mean that's a generational talent. Larry Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson. I mean if you could think about all the wide receivers in the like early 2000s, which that's the football I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? But if you could find, wide receivers like that, those are generational talent. AB is a generational talent, even though, he just needs to get his stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Julio Jones is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? Those are generational talent. Odell's not a generational talent because he has to do that consistently. You know, like yeah, he has 15 minutes of fame in New York, but look how that shit lasted. Everybody wanted to blame Eli. It wasn't Eli. It was Odell. Odell went to the Cleveland Browns. He did the same thing there. So, and then people want to say, oh, well, the Browns are not using Odell. Like, how can you use a player that magnitude? You know, I mean, you put him anywhere. He's just gonna be a headache, man. He's just gonna be a headache. That's all he is. You know, like Odell got y'all all wrapped up around his fingers. Like I understand he's a football player. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the media don't want to tear him down and say no, he sucks or he's this and that. They'll never say that. You know. But us as fans, we can lash out and say, oh, he sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how many Giants fans burned his jersey. You know what I'm saying? You could go on YouTube and type in Odell Beckham Jr.'s jersey burning, and you'll see how many jerseys they burnt. Like, it wasn't him. I'm sure he wanted to stay in New York, but obviously the Giants organization just headed up to here with them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all freaking go online and burning jerseys y'all spent for like $90 or however much jerseys cost these days, and then you're gonna buy another one, and then that person is gonna leave, and you're gonna start burning like that. You know how stupid that is. That's why I was never a jersey type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like the only time I would get a jersey if I have to customize. Put my own name on the back, not somebody else's. Put my own name, like put my favorite number, which is 13. You know what I'm saying? Put my name on the back, and then just like that. But I'm not gonna wear somebody else's jersey. You know what I'm saying? I'll never do that. Like usually that's why I always buy accessories. Like socks, headbands, wristbands, whatever, keychains. Like I'm not for that. Whole jersey thing. But I will buy a RJ Barrett jersey though. I will buy one. But anyways, but yeah, man. I mean, people just need to stop it, man. Like for real. Like we live in a totally different era these days. Like just because Odell came out the draft, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a big LSU fan. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been watching LSU when around 2007 where they were popping, you know what I'm saying, fighting against Oklahoma, fighting against Alabama, fighting against Florida Gators, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when college football was the ish. It still is, it's just not, that good anymore. But yeah, man, people just need to stop throwing generational talent loosely, you know? Um, Odell's a great player, but he's just a gadget player, like I said. He can run every tree. He can run every route on that route tree. There's no route he can't run. Like he could run routes, and there's wide receivers that's bigger than him that can't even run routes. You know, I think him, Chad Ochocinco, I think those are the like only two players that could really run routes. T.O. he couldn't run routes to save his life. Des Bryant, as good as he wasn't really much of a route runner. Victor Cruz, I'll put him in that category too. Victor Cruz can run any route tree in that route tree. But there's some wide receivers that can't run a route or is just slow in the feet. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, like Randy Moss. I love Randy Moss, but Randy Moss couldn't run a route to save his life. That's why that's why they would always send him deep on a deep post, on a deep route, you know? Because the bigger you are, the more ground you don't make up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's why they switched me in defensive end. My natural position was wide receiver, but they saw how slow I was. So, I had good hands. It's just that, I was, not really that fast. So they switched me to defensive end and I flourished there. And that was my position throughout the whole entire school. You know what I'm saying? School year. So, um, so, but well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't wish, injury upon nobody. He should have just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a heated moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, things just, go on the fly, so you don't necessarily react to things that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, your instincts is telling you to just tackle them they won't give up a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but your instincts might just say, you know what, my guy's got it. I'm good. I'm not going to injure myself doing that, which obviously he did. So, I mean, like I said, I don't wish injuries upon nobody. I wish him a very healthy recovery, and hopefully he can start over with a different team. You know what I'm saying? But if that doesn't work, like, like if he goes to, Patriots, like everybody wants him to, and then him and Cam Newton don't click, then what? It's Cam Newton's fault? So people just need to pick and choose, Like their mind, like people's minds are just so messed up. They're like they think in one dimensional, You need to think two dimensional. But, it is what it is. People are gonna hate, people are gonna say, oh, I'm a Odell Beckham Jr. hater. Cause I know there's a lot of fans out there that like Odell. And he's a great guy. He's a great kid, you know what I'm saying? But he's just very, very hard to play with. You know, like people might not see it, but it's like one of those, Terrell Owens type of situation. Like Terrell Owens is a great talent, but he's just very hard to play with. You know what I'm saying? Odell is not one of the easiest persons to play with. But people don't understand that and people don't get it. People think that everywhere he goes, oh, it's his fault. Oh, it's the quarterback's fault. Oh, it's the offensive coordinator's fault. Oh, it's this, it's that. Like, people don't want to blame Odell because of his talent, you know? Like, I'm not that person. If I see a person, like, there was a lot of players in my school that was kind of like Odell, very super talented, fast as hell, but they had anger problems and they had anger issues and they wanted to do things their way and you know what I'm saying, like it didn't benefit the team. You know what I'm saying? So the coach wound up kicking them off the team and stuff like that. And he went out to do some criminal stuff. Now he's behind bars. I'm not saying that Odell's gonna do that, but it comes to a time where people have to hold people accountable. If you see people, if you see players like an Odell, like, he's super talented, but he's very hard to work with, what do you do with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't come on air. Stephen A. or Max can't come in the air and say, oh, Odell Beckham Jr., sorry. Oh, he can't play. Oh, is this and that. He's kind of like Kyrie Irving. He's kind of like Kyrie Irving of basketball. The only difference is Kyrie Irving has won the ring. Well, I'm not going to say Kyrie Irving, but probably Russell Westbrook, James Harden type. You know, like Odell's trending in that direction. Like he's super talented, but, he's very hard to play with. He's very hard to work with. You know what I'm saying? You know, players like that will never win a championship, and that's what Odell don't understand. Like me, I was a big Hakeem Nicks fan. If you know Hakeem Nicks, he played with the Giants from 2009 through, I would probably say 2016. So he played with them for 8 years, right? You know, the only knock on him was he was injury prone. He got injured a lot. His first year, he got injured in training camp. You know what I'm saying? So, he didn't necessarily get going until, week, I think week 5 against the Eagles in that Monday night where he took the ball and then he, did a little shimmy shake on one defender and then he turned it around. He spun around and then he just went off for a touchdown. Even though we lost that game, but, obviously, he dropped like 2 passes that was clearly a touchdown. And then he redeemed himself after that, just one play. But other than that, he was just, up and down, up and down, up and down until he finally had a breakout year in 2010. You know what I'm saying? Where he caught, over 1,000, he caught 80 receptions for over 1,000 yards. I think he caught like 12 touchdowns. So that was his breakout year. And then after that, he won a Super Bowl. And, I mean, he played for the, different teams and whatnot, but you could tell he wasn't that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted the spotlight, but he wasn't like that type of person that to just, say, oh, look at me. I'm all about me and nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just put his work down. He just put his head down and worked. You know, like that one interview that he said, he said that I have to make the play. No. He said the play has to work. I have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like, a sit down interview way before, he was drafted by the, Giants, you know. But, I mean, obviously, again, I'm a big Tar Heel fan, My Tar Heel is doing good right now. They're 4-0. You know, even though my LSU is still struggling, I think they 1-2, so they facing Auburn this Saturday. So hopefully they'll get together and beat them and go 2-2. But surprisingly, the Tar Heels are 4-0, but nobody wants to talk about them. You know, but it is what it is. But like I said, I mean, there's players that's gonna be that way. It is what it is. I don't wish, like I said, I don't wish no Uh, injury upon nobody. But, sometimes people just need to, get what they want out their chest. You know what I'm saying? Stop being such a, scaredy cat. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they can't go on air and say that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be looked at, they're going to be viewed as a bad guy. Like, what do you do with Odell? If you was a head coach or owner, what would you do with Odell Beckham Jr.? Because everywhere he goes, it's just chaos. He went from the Giants. Okay, his rookie year, he balled out. Staying quiet as a mouse. You know what I'm saying? He got into it with Josh Norman. After that, he was never the same. He started doing, things and stuff like that. His first playoff game, he dropped like 3 passes. You know what I'm saying? He was looking at his hands like he was freaking John Cena and shit. I mean, he was just doing stuff that, you don't do, and then after that, the Giants had him up to here with them. They traded him to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And then the rest is history, right? Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is a leader. I'm an Aquarius. Saquon Barkley is Aquarius. We all leaders. You know what I'm saying? We lead by example. Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never see him last shot. You never see him do this, do that. Why? Because he's that type of person that leads by example. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what sign Odell Beckham Jr. is. I know he's born in November, so he might probably be a Sagittarius. I don't know. But, your sign is who you are at the end of the day. Like, not a lot of people believe in, astrology, but, if you look back at it, it defines who you are. It's who you are. So, if you act out, that's a reprimand on you. You know what I'm saying? That's a what you call it? I'm trying to find the word. That's who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? You can't control that. It's just who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Odell Beckham Jr. was a Gemini, he would have been way much worse. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that all Geminis are bad. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if Odell changed his ways, but he can't, like I mean, he is who he is. Like that one time where he went to LSU and gave some LSU players some money, which you cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? So they had to suspend him off campus and whatnot. Like, doing dumb shit like that. Like, you could tell that dude was drunk out the ass because his fucking whole face was red. So, I mean, like, I could stand here and bash Odell, which I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I never wanted Odell on the Giants. We only did that because we was running thin at wide receiver. You know, we had Ruben Randall, we had Sterling Shepard, we had Victor Cruz. So obviously the Giants thought that that wasn't enough. We needed a fourth receiver, so we drafted Odell. You know what I'm saying? He had a pretty good rookie year, but the rest is history. But this is the last time I'm gonna talk about it, and it's just what it is. It really doesn't matter where he goes now. Because his reputation, that's the word I was looking for. His reputation is gonna sting his legacy. So everywhere he goes, it's like, you can't blame him. Like, if he goes to the Rams, are you gonna blame Jared Goff? Because Jared Goff is pretty young. Jared Goff have weapons. You see how better they're playing without Todd Gurley. Same situation. I'm not saying that Todd Gurley was demanding the ball, because running backs are not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? They run by committee, you know? So they're going to get the ball regardless, you know what I'm saying? But, I think his style of play was just hurting the Rams. He goes to Atlanta, the Rams just plug in another running back, and now look at them. They running smoothly as ever. They almost blew out the damn Bears last night. You know what I'm saying? If they would have scored another touchdown, but I mean, you can tell. You can always tell. Like we had no problems with Hakeem Nicks. The only problem we had was he couldn't stay healthy. Like I said, he only had one great season, and then after that, you know, it went from downhill. But like we need those type of players in our locker room. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.